On this episode of Tony's Fords and Mustangs, we're actually working on the Fiat today, getting ready to take it on a trip. We're going to do an oil change. I'm going to walk you through. It's not that difficult. It's actually pretty easy. So just follow along and you'll be able to change the oil in yours as well. So let's go through what you're going to require for an oil change. You need 4 quarts of 5W40. I use Pennzoil Platinum Euro. You can use your favorite brand there. You're going to need a filter that should come with an O-ring. You're going to require that O-ring. That's a 27 millimeter socket. You can use a 1 1/8. That'll work as well. That's to remove the filter housing. You're going to need a 12 millimeter and a 13 millimeter, which I have on my drill there. You're going to need a few rags because it's going to be a little bit sloppy when you get that filter off. So the first thing we got to do here is get the car up in the air. Now I've got a lift. If you don't have a lift, you can do this on jack stands. You can do this on ramps, although I think ramps are, they can be a little sketchy depending on your clutch ability. But I'm going to get this thing up in the air. Well, that's easy enough. So we've got this pan here and there's these bolts here. This is going to cover up our drain. So I need to remove these first and then we can get to the actual oil drain plug. That's your drain plug right there. Put that up in there. So that's your drain plug right there. I'm gonna cheat a little. There we go. Okay. You're just gonna break this puppy loose. You want to watch where you put your drain pan, because she's going to shoot out of there. This oil is a little warm. You want it to be warm. That way you're better chance of getting any kind of sludge or anything like that it might carry with. Let's get some rags, paper towels to clean this up. Now I'm going to let that drain until the cows come home, basically. I want to get all the oil out of the pan that I can. I've been letting it drain for 10 minutes or so. There's not a whole lot of oil left in there. So we're going to reinstall the drain plug here, and you always hand start these things, right? Actually, it's a good idea, a good practice to hand start everything that you do ever. Lighten it down a little bit. And just get her snug, not, crazy. There is a seal in there, so she'll seal up, but this is aluminum, so you could strip it. So now that that's done, we can put our cover back on because we're essentially done under here. This can be a little fidgety, so you have to work it a little bit. Just line up your holes here, and I find it's best to start these outside bolts first. So again, hand feed them up in. You get one on that side and one on this side. And then it's a little easier from there. That drill's set to a real low torque setting, so I'm just going to go back and double check, make sure they're all snug down so I don't lose any. Good. Job done under here. Now I'll tow the top side. Now what's this thing? Odelphi sent me product. I don't do product endorsements. I'll never try to sell you t-shirts on this channel. I don't get whatever t-shirts you want wherever. And they asked me to try this thing out and see what I thought. If I liked it, put it in a video form. And I said, sure, send it over. I'll take a look at it. This thing kicks ass. It's a headlamp. It's got a nice little spotlight here, which I'm probably not going to use. I kind of use... So look at that thing. It's awesomely bright. Now I need to get in here and get at this oil filter. And I'm going to stick you down in there and let you see. But I don't have to do anything. I can see right where I need to go with this thing. It's bright. There's an oil filter down in there. And you can't see it, right? Because it's way, way down in there. So I'm going to pop, look at that. I can get right down in there and see everything. The only thing that's actually blocking this is my camera. But that's the oil filter I need to get at down in there. And this headlamp really brightens things up. The first thing I'm going to do is pull that little clip right there. So the clip goes, this clip goes down. You have to pinch this lever here down to get the clip off. So now this harness I can drop out of the way. Set that to the side. And should be able to get right on that filter. So now I got to get down here and get this socket on this oil filter housing, and I'm probably gonna maybe spill a little bit of oil. Hopefully I let it all drain down. I'm gonna put some rags down there as well, just in case I get any kind of spillage out of here. I want to try not to get any spillage. Okay, so now I've got my rag in there positioned. Try to catch any excess oil. I socket back on this oil filter and just spin it off. And this is a housing, so it's not your typical canister style filter housing. She's pretty hand-free. Alright, so now all I gotta do is work this down through here and out. I could remove this hose to make it even easier if I wanted to, but I think I can work it by without having to do that. I think I can just pull it up through there. Go. Thought I could do that. So here's my old oil filter, and my old O-ring is going to be located here. This is just going to pop out like so. That's out, right? We're going to toss this. This thing is trash. Okay, so this side is going to go up. I usually have the letters on that. This side is going to go down and then pinch down onto the filter like so. So now we've got her on there. She's pretty good. I need to remove this O-ring. You always replace the O-ring. Take a little flathead here and pop her loose. These tend to conform to the size of the canister, so they get flat over time. So you do need to replace this O-ring every single time. Don't try to reuse these. So I don't know if you can see that, but that end is, it's not round anymore. It's not an O-ring. It's sort of flattened on the side there. This is the new O-ring, and I'm going to coat that with just a little bit of oil off my hands, and that'll work in as it gets down the filter. There's going to be a spot in there for it to rest off of the threads. So you can see that spot there? That's where your O-ring's going to go. It's just going to sit in there. Okay, now she's ready to go back in. So she's going to go back in. We're just going to insert her in there and then tighten down on it until it's snug. Now that filter's to be torqued to 25 nanomutons, whatever that is. I'm going to run her down until she's snug and that the O-ring is seated. I've hand threaded it, but that O-ring needs to be seated. So you're going to want to hand thread it down to that point and then start to run her down until she's snug. Don't over torque it because this is plastic, right? Now this engine calls for synthetic and it's 5W40. That's what we're going to use. We're going to use our Pennzoil. Drop my 4 quarts in, and that'll be everything we need to do mechanically. So the last thing I do here is reset the oil life monitor. It's pretty easy. Turn the car to on, don't start it. Depress the gas pedal 3 times quickly within 10 seconds of hitting the on button. Turn the car off. Oil life's reset. That's it. Pretty simple there. So hey, there we're done. Look at this thing. Oh, Delphi, thanks for this headlamp. I told you I wouldn't include it in a video unless I really liked it, and I do really like it. It's rechargeable. You charge it on a USB. It's a rechargeable battery. I've been running this thing for about an hour now. Still real bright. Nice product. It's not too bad. I think it goes for $34. I'm going to leave a link down in the description. You notice the decals on the vehicle? We're doing a charity run for Hope for the Warriors. They help post 9/11 veterans and their families. It's a really good charity. 90.1% of the money that's given goes to help the veterans directly, and that's important. So if you could, I won't ever ask you to buy a t-shirt. I won't ever ask you for Patreon money. I will ask you to make a direct donation to my charity, but if you could, maybe make a donation to Hope for the Warriors. It's a good cause. It'll help out our veterans, and without our veterans, where will we be? Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, we'll see you.